In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to install a portable air conditioner in your garage to help keep it cool, especially during the summer months. Now, right now my garage is a mess, and that's because we were starting to get prepared to move, but it looks like we've got a few more months before we're going to have to move. So therefore, I'm going to have to go back through, reorganize a little bit so I can utilize the garage until we do move after the summer. But I thought for the summer I'd like to enjoy an AC, and since I already have a solar hooked up that can give me the power to run it, it won't cost me anything. I just have to get it installed and I can stay cool. So this garage has a window in it, and I've ultimately decided I'm going to use this window for the install location. We are renting this home, but if I own the home, I might look at a split system, which would make more sense anyways. But if we didn't own a home and we didn't have a window, then maybe we would use something like these vents that are designed to allow airflow in and out. There's one here and there's also one down there, and that could be a potential place to vent out and get fresh air for the system. But since I do have a window, I'm going to go ahead and use that. And as you can see, this is a 2-car garage plus this bonus space over here, so it's a little bit of a larger space. Less than a week ago, I actually installed a smaller unit, or a less powerful unit, and it wasn't getting the job done. So I'm going to give it a shot with this unit and see what we've got. So this is the Medea 12,000 BTU, and that's the DOE standard, the new standard, which is much more usable than the old standard, because you'd see plenty of ACs that are 14,000 BTU, but their energy efficiency and their ability to cool would vary greatly. So this looks like one of the more powerful ones I can find on the market, and I figured I'd give this a shot. So let's see how it goes. Let's get started by opening it up. A little trick for you guys. I'm just using a cutter, but if you find where the band connects and you take and lift it and pull it from the underside, you can usually just open these bands up. So in case you guys didn't know, that's a cool trick to open this package up, but I had a cutter hander, so didn't need it. And in case I have to make a return, which hopefully I don't, I'm not going to destroy the box. I'm going to try to be nice with it so I have somewhere to put all my stuff back. But again, hopefully this thing is going to work, which will be nice, because during the summer I don't have a problem coming out working in the heat. It's not that big of a deal, but it is nice, and I think you'll spend a little more time out in the garage if you actually do have an AC, especially if you're not paying for it because you have solar powering it. Here's a first look at the system. And so they say this has inverter technology, which makes it more efficient. And they also use, it's a dual hose, but it's made in one single hose. So it's a dual hose system, but just one single hose that houses both the intake and export of the air. So it's interesting. This box just lifts up from the bottom once you remove the straps. And so I wanted to remove all the items on top so they don't fall over or get in the way. And now you would just lift this up and it lets you access the AC. Which is a lot easier than trying to fight, get this thing lifted up out of the box, right? Or destroying the box. So far this thing looks like it's packaged pretty nice, looks pretty heavy duty. Alright guys, so here's what we're looking at. This weight set that I want to have in this space doesn't really fit another way. And doing so, it means that this portable AC doesn't have space to sit right back behind here. Keeping the AC unit over off to the side, this hose does reach over to where the window is, if I were to raise this by putting it on a stand and bring it up higher, then it would work and vent out the window. And now that it has this stand, you can see that I can actually make this vent fit. It's snug, and I may actually need to slide this mat over and bring it in a little bit closer, but now that it's brought up to the same level, it actually will work and fit. So we're good to go ahead and keep moving forward with the next part of the install. If you didn't have this weight set or this stuff to deal with, you can have it directly by the window and none of this would be an issue, but this is just a way to work around making it work for this space. All right, so here's a look at the vent connection itself, where it connects to the window. I thought I'd give you guys a close-up of how these window pin adjustments work. So you can see without a pin in place, this just keeps sliding until wherever your pin stops it and is adjusted at. And to put these pins in, they're very simple. They're just little plastic inserts, and you just put them into place, and then they have a groove, so when it comes into contact with the next piece, it locks into place. And so that's to hold this so it won't collapse and fall when you put it in the window, if you're using a sliding window like I am. Next, we want to install the window sliders into the window, and this is where we'll actually connect our exhaust vent tubes to. So to do so, they come in a bunch of different sizes, so you get different pieces, and depending on the size of your window will change how many of these pieces that you'll need to use, and they slide within each other. And so you just find the appropriate adjustment for your window, so you can put this in and out, and you do it on both sides. So you can see that I put the little plastic insert on this side, the plastic pin. So everywhere that there's an actual sliding component, you put that pin into place to lock it. And you want that on both sides. And then once that's done, the next step, it says to put insulation on the back of this. So I'm going to pull this out, apply the insulation. All right, so before I cut and install these insulation sheets that it says for the exterior side, I want to go ahead and install the foam insulation that goes around the window sill and the outside of the window frame. And I want to do that because once these are installed, if that adjusts this just a little bit, one notch on one of these, then I want to make sure that I don't already have it locked into place with this foam insulation. So I'm going to go ahead and do the window insulation first, and then we'll go back to finishing this off after I double check and make sure this fits right. So to do that, it comes with 2 short pieces and then 2 longer pieces that are rolled up. So these 2 short pieces for my installation, because it's going to sit vertically, will be at the bottom and the top. So let's put those on first. All right, so all you have to do is just peel off the backing. Now when I did the last install, I actually cleaned this with alcohol and just kind of cleaned it out. You can use Windex, alcohol, whatever you want, just so it's not so dusty and dirty. That way your insulation sticks better. But since I just did that a couple days ago, I'm just going to reattach right to where it already is. So we're going to slide the insulation all the way in. And then I'm just going to apply it like that. And that's it. Then I'll do the same thing on the top. And this is from the last one, but you apply a strip inside here. I'm gonna do the last one. Gonna unroll it. Got this extra foam, which is going to be to insulate where the window's open. I'll set that aside for now. Grab my longer strips, and you can see one strip isn't going to quite be long enough, so I'm going to apply one full strip, and then I'll cut off a piece of the other one. I'm just going to start from the top here. follow it down the window. You can see that does it all, but one little piece. So I'm just going to cut a little piece, put it there, and then when this closes up, you'll be insulated on the bottom, you're insulated around all sides, and you're insulated down here. That way, once you close this up on your window slides, you're insulated. Keeps bugs out, keeps the temperature from changing from outside and inside. So let me get this last piece and we'll move on. Making sure that everything is still set up the best way that can be, and it looks like it fits right in there. This window closes just like that, and we're good. So let me go ahead and put the insulation on the back of this window slide assembly, and we're ready to move on to the next step. So now we're going to apply this insulation. I can apply a full sheet here, and then over here it's going to take just a little bit of this extra sheet. So to apply it, we're going to go ahead and just peel the foam back off, the sticky off the foam back. And then I'm just going to put this into place. I'm just going to drop it in here. This side has the hole in it for the attachment. So what I'll do is I'll take and cut this out, and I'll just take my marker and give myself a little area to cut. So this doesn't have to be perfect, guys. It's just to basically maximize how much insulation you have on the back of this. I'm probably going to need to cut a little bit more out. Alright, got the insulation on the back. Okay, so now we're going to put the window slider in with the insulation attached to the back. Get it in place, and then we're going to close this window. So another thing you can see, which is going to be helpful, is I put window tint on this window to help reduce some of the heat coming in from the sun. So I think that's going to be a benefit as well. We're ready to put this other foam insulation in, and this is non-adhesive, and this is used, you just wedge it between the gap so you don't have the airflow from outside come in through this little area here. And this also will help with bugs as well. So you can see this leaves a little bit of space, and I don't want that. So I'm going to cut just a little piece off this other one and shove it in there, and then we'll be good. Now we're ready to go ahead and clip our hose adapter in. And that's it. And now we can plug it in. Alright, so now that we have it plugged in and powered up, and by the way, this is plugged into my solar, and in the future I can do a video about how I'm running this. My goal is to run this off solar power that's not attached to the house, and therefore not have to pay any electricity to keep this garage cold all summer long. And I can also do a video showing you how energy efficient this particular model is, and I can do a video showing you how well it cools. I'm going to be moving some of my weight set stuff back and making this all nice and look clean, but the system is on, it's out of the way, so I can keep everything in place the way that I wanted by lifting it up and elevating it a little bit to make it fit my application. And that's it, guys. I hope you guys found this helpful and informative. As I said, I'll do some additional videos in the future about how well this unit actually works and how I'm powering it off of solar, so that should be fun. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.